Ah, Jimmy, Bobini, Bonana, Bana, for Fimi, Fee, 5 for me.
Sign up.
Yeah, here.
This is so swank.
Yeah, well, Swank is our first name. All right. You, as they say in proverbial vernaculars.
It's starting already.
Yeah, take out your vernaculars.
Yes, and we'll beat you in the columbarium.
Good sight.
Columbarium. And there he goes. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause. We're getting underway. He's going to read Proposition 1 this time, not the general announcements.
Proposition 1, the end of warfare. Whereas warfare is the worst of all crimes in that it embodies, encourages, and rewards all others. Whereas the definition of war as used at the Nuremberg trials is meet for the purposes of this proposition. Therefore we, the party of the first part, all citizens of any nation, all those who suffer from the effects and privations of war, who oppose it as a system, as a behavior, as a socially accepted institution, call for an end to war, cessation of all hostilities, the standing down of all military forces, and universal disarmament. Further, let it be known, we, the people, the party of the first part, state by our assertion at this time and place that we stand opposed to the existence or use of military force as we now know it. All those in favor of Proposition 1, please signify.
Aye.
All those opposed, make a horsey sound. Abstentions?
We have an abstention. A cow sound. Thank you so much. Nothing should be unanimous. That's what my uncle used to say. I would like to introduce the door prizes for the evening, since that is part of what we do here. These are pumpkin pie flavored kettle cooked potato chips. And this was given to us by Rob over here because they thought, what a crazy idea. So, this is also Ani DeFranco's Out. It's, how do you describe it?
Acoustic poetry.
Acoustic poetry. Singer-songwriter, very beautiful. And now for the book category, we have P.G. Wodehouse, Stiff Upper Lip Jeeves.
Stiff upper lip.
Stiff Upper Lips. Marat Sade, in case you don't know them. Heaven is All Goodbyes by Tongo Eisen Martin. He was a feature here. Tongo Eisen Martin. Oh my goodness. I should have kept that. The Balcony, played by Jean Genet. And if you want a map of the world, well, here it is.
The whole world?
Yes. Well, except for the part that I don't like.
Yeah.
Which is everything outside of San Francisco. Anyway, contemporary American poetry, selected and illustrated and introduced by Donald Hall. I don't know who that is, but nice. Say again?
That's a ways back.
That is a ways back.
When I was in college,
and this is the Good Woman of Szechuan by Bertolt Brecht, revised English version by Eric Bentley. Good old Eric. Never comes to my parties
Good old
anymore.
Bertolt.
Yes. Bernard Shaw's Man and Superman. Talk about a wide-ranging thought set of things. So, yeah, these were given to me by a person who, well, not directly, but this person, a friend of mine, passed away, and she had huge numbers of books, and I said, I cannot take them all. And I took the ones that I thought might go well here and said, these are some of those. Except for the ones that Rob gave, the CD and the chips. So we are now ready to...
What about the other...
the other prizes. Yes.
No, the other...
we only do. I only do
only
one.
doing one now? Okay.
Yeah, I do one or the other.
Okay.
Because that way people don't get annoyed and bored of me. So the other ones, the non-book prizes, choosing the theme or prompt, which today is inclusion. The keynote, which you're about to see, Rob performing. The mini feature, which is Hal Robbins. Oh, Hal Robbins, the mini feature. That's going to be great. And the last word, which is,
and she just showed up.
oh, she's the youth, but Buford is the last word.
Okay.
And our co-pilot here, which will be the co-pilot until the co-pilot.
Melissa
will
will be the co-pilot.
She will join me here. So those are the non-door prizes. And if you read something by somebody else, I'll hand this to you, so you can fill it out, and I'll know who the poet was and who you were. And that way I don't always write The Charge of the Light Brigade by William Carlos Williams III. All right. Is that it? Oh, is Gore Vidal here? Did he show?
So soon to be Dallas.
Ned, yeah, but Nanette Fabre,
Marlon Brando.
Lauren Harley, Alistair Crowley, and All Night Images. They said they would be here. All right. Give him a round of applause, Rob, our keynote of the evening.
I had a little orgasm when you showed Murat Saad there. I was in Murat Saad in college. And
So nice of you to share.
It was stunning. Just stunning.
You said you were sunny? What?
I'm going to inject a little note of insanity here by reading something that is not poetry. Hopefully nothing will be thrown at me, but I'm doing this because it's possible there's someone out there who once read something by Kurt Vonnegut that they didn't care for, hit him the wrong way, and they never read anymore. I'm going to share a little piece by Kurt that I consider the most exquisite thing he ever wrote, which ironically is from a middling work, the novel Mother Night, which, you know,
Oh, yeah.
relative to him, I consider it middling. This is the introduction to the novel Mother Night.
I like that.
That's good. Good. It's good that you liked it.
This is the only story of mine whose moral I know. I don't think it's a marvelous moral. I simply happen to know what it is. We are what we pretend to be. So we must be very careful about what we pretend to be. My personal experience with Nazi monkey business was limited. There were some vile and lively Native American fascists in my hometown of Indianapolis during the 30s, and somebody slipped me a copy of the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, I remember, which was supposed to be about the Jews' secret plan for taking over the world. And I remember some laughs about my aunt who married a German, and who had to write to Indianapolis for proof that she had no Jewish blood. The Indianapolis mayor knew her, and so he had fun putting ribbons and seals all over the documents, which made them look like 18th century peace treaties. After a while, the war came, and I was in it, and I was captured. So I got to see a little of Germany from the inside while the war was still going on. I was a private, a battalion scout, and under the terms of the Geneva Convention, I had to work for my keep, which was good, not bad. I didn't have to stay in prison all the time. I got to go to a city, which was Dresden, and to see the people and the things they did. There were about 100 of us in our particular work group, and we were put out to work as contract labor to a factory that was making a vitamin-enriched malt syrup for pregnant women. It tasted like thin honey laced with hickory smoke. It was good. I wish I had some right now. And the city was lovely, highly ornamented, like Paris, and untouched by war. It was supposedly an open city, not to be attacked, since there were no troop concentrations or war industries there. But high explosives were dropped on Dresden by American and British planes on the night of February 13th, 1945. There were no particular targets for the bombs. The hope was that they would create a lot of kindling and drive firemen underground. And then hundreds of thousands of tiny incendiaries were scattered over the kindling, like seeds on freshly turned loam. More bombs were dropped to keep the firemen in their holes. And all the little fires grew, joined one another, and became one apocalyptic flame. Hey presto, firestorm. It was the largest massacre in European history, by the way. And so what? We didn't get to see the firestorm. We were in a cool meat locker under a slaughterhouse with our 6 guards and ranks of dressed cadavers of cattle, pigs, horses, and sheep. We heard the bombs walking around up there. Now and then there would be a gentle shower of calcimine. If we had gone above to take a look, we would have been turned into artifacts characteristic of firestorms, seeming pieces of charred firewood 2 or 3 feet long, ridiculously small human beings, or jumbo fried grasshoppers, if you will. The malt syrup factory was gone. Everything was gone. But the cellars, where 135,000 Hansels and Gretels had been baked like gingerbread men. So we were put to work as corpse miners, breaking into shelters, bringing the bodies out. And I got to see many German types of all ages as death found them, usually with valuables in their laps. So much for Nazis and me. If I'd been born in Germany, I suppose I would have been a Nazi, bopping Jews and gypsies and Poles, leaving boots sticking out of snowbanks, and warming myself with my secretly virtuous insides. So it goes. And there's another clear moral to this tale, now that I think about it. When you're dead, you're dead. And yet another moral occurs to me. Make love when you can. It's good for you.
Oh. Thank you, Rob. We'll be back to the open. All right. Who is our first? Tommy Alacolamek is our first one on the open mic. He'll be coming up here now. Give him a round, or a square, or something. Come on, people. Warm up this place. Warm up this place.
Champion hero of mine.
Oh, thank you. There we go.
So complicated.
I'm going where the birds go. Gonna follow the river. I'm flying past the morning, and I won't be back again. Papa came home unexpectedly that summer morning. He didn't say anything to me. I was sitting eating my cornflakes and watching TV. He went right to the fridge and broke off a piece of the old loaf Mama saved to make breadcrumbs, then stepped into the yard, ripping off tiny pieces and scattering them on the cement. Within moments, about 20 pigeons and sparrows were hopping along the ground, picking at what he had tossed. I couldn't help thinking of the Hitchcock movie. Come on, I ain't gonna hurt you, Papa said to the hesitant ones that lingered on the cinder block fence. As if they understood, some of them leaped onto the ground. Papa pointed to a sparrow. See that one over there? That's Vinny. How can you tell them apart, I asked. He's got that mark on his wing. See? I didn't. Why do you call him that? 'Cause things gotta have names. They're just birds. They're not just birds, he said, tossing more crumbs. Do you know what your name means? Tommaso? No, Avicoli. I had never thought about it. It's a little bird, or Hills of the Birds, something to do with birds. Is that why you feed them? He didn't answer. He took a deep breath, something I can't imagine he did very often. You know, they take our souls when we die. Where? Wherever we go. I had heard that before. Seems some of the old Italian immigrants believed some variation of that myth. He was freaking me out. This wasn't the strict papa who had driven my oldest brother to enlist in the army. The man with the terrible temper who exploded if someone said the wrong thing, which could be anything. The man I feared more than loved. Could you do me a favor? Go get another piece of bread. But Mama needs it for her eggplant parmesan tonight. Just a little piece. She'll never miss it. When I returned to the yard, he was sitting on the edge of the cinder block enclosure he had built and filled with free dirt and horse manure from the city dump. Then he planted rose bushes, and it got angry at me because I grew portulaca. His worn, faded blue overalls were stained with grease and smelled of gasoline. There was a tear running down his cheek. I handed him the bread. He took it and sat there for a few moments. Birds approached him and stared as if to say, "Well, toss it already, you fool." The phone rang. Don't answer it. It might be important. It's your uncle. He's probably out of his mind because I'm not there. Papa and my uncle ran a small gas station 2 blocks from the house. Sometimes I just got to get away from there, working 6-7 days a week, and what do I got to show for it? I'm going to die without a penny to leave you kids. I wanted to tell him I didn't need no inheritance, but I said nothing. He mashed a piece of the bread in his hand and tossed it like it was rice at a wedding. If I feed the birds at work, they laugh at me. They tell me I'm crazy. I'm always the crazy one. The phone rang again. Papa hesitated, then went inside and picked it up. I knew it was my uncle. A few minutes later, I heard the front door slam. The birds were finishing up their meal. They didn't seem to care that he was gone, but I did.
Whoa.
I'm going to plug a show I'm doing at Bazaar Cafe, coming up on March 31st with John Radonio, who's been here before. I'm going to be featured for an hour, so if you can stand me for an hour, and it's free, totally free, so come and enjoy me for an hour.
Just shout out the date.
March 31st, I'm passing around a flyer. It's Bazaar Cafe, 21st Avenue in California. I'm passing around a flyer. So take a flyer, and it's free. Did I say it was free?
It's a great venue.
Yeah.
Great venue. March 31st.
Oh my God.
Bazaar Cafe. 21st in Balboa, right?
California.
21st in California.
There's a flyer coming around.
Yeah, and look at Tommy's head on that body. Take a look at Tommy's head on the body.
Oh, you got it. All right. Let me just read the next 5, because that way you'll know where you are and where I am and where I'd like to be. You wouldn't know where I'd like to be, but I'll tell you that anyway. We have Joffrey, then Buford, then Britt, then Owen, then Stephanie, then Margaret Mead, Stanley Kubrick, and Joffrey Lord, something, I can't remember that. Very bad handwriting for Joffrey Lord. Joffrey, are you here?
Yeah, I'm Jeffrey, but I'm not that Jeffrey.
No, well, Joffrey Cook.
Cook, yeah.
That's you. Give him a round, please. This is not your first time here, right? All right, there we go. Give him a round, please. Joffrey Cook.
He was here last week. He has short-term memory. Forget it.
And I keep on forgetting everything that I should remember.
Last week I said I was preparing a book for a publication in India. So,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So,
That was last week.
They get really close.
So, everything's okay, so small room.
Yeah, but, well, all right.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So this book is written mainly for the Indian market in mind, rather than the American. But the first poem, my epigraph, is actually quotation of myself from my poem before. And Yasoda was the mother of Krishna, and I think the rest will make. And Krishna picked up some mud and he was chewing it. Yasoda rushed to open the young god's mouth, to snatch the dirt, the child chewing. There were worlds and universes, and the end of it all. That was inside his mouth. And the next poem I wrote in San Francisco when I was a young man. Days. When nothing happens, sun warm in park, promenading amongst the stubby trees, the band plays off key as we sip coffee and tea. Fog, stillness, fog grays the stillness, and the trees shiver. Trees shiver. Thank you.
Very good. Look out. Gifford, and then Britt, then Owen, then Stephanie. I will stop that making noise now.
And Kubrick. Kubrick, it was Stanley Kubrick.
Did you sign in? Did you sign in? Did you?
Yeah.
Are you on here?
Good. Stanley Kubrick.
No, I'll probably.
Oh, yeah, I see him. I see him. There we go.
You wrote a Clockwork Orange. Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Directed. Sorry.
Yeah.
Great movie.
You'll never think of the Lone Ranger again.
Let's go to the milk bar.
Politics.
Politics, he says.
Everything's politics. London Breed should be elected mayor. I like people of color in large city positions, and the rest of the candidates who have a, quote, chance, unquote, of winning. Only one, Jane Kim, is a minority. The rest are white. Not that I haven't liked non-minority candidates before. The late George Moscone comes to mind. I just think Breed is the best fit for San Francisco. Only one, Richie Greenberg, is a Republican. Hey, San Francisco, the liberal city. Being a liberal who's been criticized by radicals, I've been known for not being far enough to the left. I try hard not to be defensive. Politics are strange bedfellows with love for my fellow humans. I'm more peacenik than anything else.
Britt, Peter, then Owen, then Stephanie, then David, then Richard, then Wendy, then Debeep, Debop, Debeep, Bop, Debop, Debeep, Debeep. Whoever that is. Who is that man? Oh, you know what?
This poem
He's
is
supposed to be the
called
last one he signed in
The
on.
Groove Juice Special, or The Man in the Long Red Tie. They could hear him shouting behind the door to the Oval Office. He's gone over this time. Another advisor, P.B. Shelley, said, I won't write that poem again. England in 1819. I quit. But the noise continued. Blue smoke under the door, doorknobs rattling. Buy me a whore, bring me a Pepsi. Fire up the furnaces, pour on the coal. Yada, yada, yada. That was yesterday. When will Mueller come through? Where's the fire brigade or SWAT team? Where is the coat with sleeves tied in back? When will we laugh this malignant bastard out of town? Any passing stranger would ask these questions. Patience is a shoddy virtue. 4 years is a long time. Why? Why does anybody go into politics? I question their motives. For white shoes and kickbacks? The man in the long red tie would have been better off staying in the laundry business, selling steaks or fake diplomas. Guess he had too much time on his small hands. So now he's messing over many lives. Drone on. This is on a different day. Levi knew. A waltz begins in my head of words, an upsweep, a swirling, We do not know the Milky Way as Levi knew the Milky Way. A river of stars each night rolling by him, a known cycle, folding away beyond the earth. We cannot know the Milky Way smeared with the smoke of our lives. Levi knew that river of stars, the noise of earthly rivers, night birds and the new moon, dwelling within the complete poem each night.
He reminded me of one of my favorite jokes. It's a political joke, I'm sorry to say. And there's two punchlines. So you'll laugh at the first one, but then you don't hear the second one. So hold that. How many blanks does it take to screw in a light bulb jokes? Well, this one is, how many Republicans does it take to screw in a light bulb? Answer is all of them. One to hold the light bulb, and all the rest to screw the country around. Anyway, there we go. I love that joke. Anyway, thank you, Britt. Owen, you're up. And then we have Stephanie, David, Richard, Wendy, the beep, boop, bop, the bip, the bap, the bip, bap, 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 bip. Oh, and we got Hal. You're already in.
Mark,
Huh?
Mark, the harmonica player asked us if we could be added
Yeah.
to the list.
Okay, we'll put him on here. Got to hear it. I saw him come in, but I didn't know if he was going to play.
Yeah.
We had a whole thing happen, but maybe it's better now.
And this Richard's person, because I'm Richard too. Is there
Oh.
Richard here?
Say again?
My name is Richard. I don't know if that's.
Are you with him, or are you going to do your
I
own
thought
thing?
earlier, because you called it, you said there was a Richard on there.
No, it's a different Richard.
That's right.
Oh, there's a different. So, are you on here
Yeah,
now?
throw me below him. Good.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And then
Okay.
focus in.
Got it.
Oh yeah.
The piano liaison. Dissonances, eerie sounds. Clamor die upon the dazed keys of your quiet intrusion, upon the days of being. Conclusion you came to upon seeing. Sky clouds, rain clouds, miss more my affair after exclusion passes my mind. Dissolution of harmonies the half-wit out. Resolution passes in and out. Not really the why, the reason, the chances that the love of silence and clouds that God sent on for the peace of ales. Above the rose of Dharma we see up the street of noise. The fest of Verdi, our raison. Nest alive, our precincts. Spring abad. Eerie leaves rustle the earth in the wind's blithe awakening, the wilds of the voices, the trieste, the orange night, the clash of dishes on a Sunday afternoon, the missed appointments, the imperfect sunlight, the messed up afternoons. Mind chill. Sunday meow of the cat of our praises, the stiff air still clean to the care below the still life I always wonder. Slow now the always cares the soul raises air to the quest of fate end. Raises the spirit I search for like a way. Know now the journey. Cast off the cat always there, purring in the sun and care. He should know is his. Take the fact that puzzles Dharma roses. There is, free still the gay abandons of love, the quiet cry of bliss all day. Out, birds riot. Meow. A cat rests upon the day's end, the windowsill of the large clouds of the earth's abandonment to sacrifice, the continuance of the day's hymn to madness and quietude. Throne of fire. I think sort of surfers on Friday nights. of images cracking on the jetties of rhyme, stoked out free verse with long, also long lines a la Whitman and Olson that you could ride and ride as a lone surfer rides, a 20-footer on an endless cloudy day of seeing into himself by candlelight between his legs on Saturday nights of summer. I read of Mickey Dora's death, like a night closing like Russia, like Borscht, like an endless drunken Gazatsky fire. A vodka, you fool. Endless vodka. Like the blue-collar void of the flip side into eternity and reality. My drunken comrades. On Nikita, Nikita. Sonnet, moratorium. Sunday hums like a leaden bee around me all day long. As a 71 bus brazen like a tree of knowledge of San Franciscans, among all others, the gambling, babbling, reducing the tender fawn of Bacchanalia to the clenched fist of Chinese gambling, Hong Kong cat of melancholia, offering the pungent studies of debt, stabbing each placid-eyed easy rider, a nice roller coaster journey, easy to forget our uprising of yesterday. Like a toy glider nestled next to the rocks, upscale, down mid-screen, myself now alone, perchance to dream.
Thank you, Mr. Owen. Owen Duncan, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that applause. So we have Stephanie Manning coming up here, one of the finest individuals we know in this planet. A soon to come feature here in July, ladies and gentlemen. More! I say more! Let her start first.
Okay, so it's March now, and I was looking up poets born in March, and there's a heck of a lot of poets born in March, like Robert Frost, Jack Kerouac, Tennessee Williams, Billy Collins, Robert Lowell, Gregory Corso, and Lawrence Ferlinghetti, who will be 99. So, we gotta appreciate Lawrence while he's still around. I
don't think he's ever going to leave.
He's going out He may. He's very healthy. He ran all his life. He's a health guy. Run for president. He should run for president. Yeah. So this one's called Walls. Walls spring up overnight, slowly over time, on all sides, to keep you out, to keep you in, to keep creeps from you. Walls that surround creeps in jail. Walls of the mind that bind you to old thinking. Walls that line the narrow path ahead. Tear down the old walls. Tear down the new walls of isolation. Tear down the big Trump wall before it gets built. Tear down these walls. Tear them down and open the boundaries of your mind. And most of you know that I take the train every day from Berkeley to Davis to my little school job out there. And this one, so I've been writing a lot on the train. This one's called Fields of Yellow Mustard Blooms. There's yellow, pretty nice looking out the window. The train hurries past Chepo's Tamales out in the middle of nowhere, which is in the Sacramento Valley between Vacaville and Dixon. 100 miles off to the south sits the Sierra Mountain Range with its pockets of snow visible today. Due south, open farm fields as far as the eye can see. Cows, horses, sheep, and goats grades. The sky, overcast, suggests but will not produce rain. And already in March, some fields have turned tawny. Pink almond orchard blossoms make money for the growers. There was once hope here, the American dream in this land of the Patwins. Now even songbirds would perish without the chaff of industry. Will the train ram another car today? What makes a person leave their car behind as the engine approaches? What makes him stay in a car to face a shattering death? It happens every few months, it does. 300 passengers come to an unscheduled stop as the train awaits police, ambulance, medevac, or the coroner and the Amtrak inspector. 300 passengers left to contemplate another dramatic death out here in the middle nowhere of shattered dreams. Good luck to you, Chepo of Chepo's Tamales. Good luck to you.
Oh, wow.
And the last one is called Will Ice Leave Them Alone? Poor children that follow to farm work and speak mostly Spanish, will ICE leave you alone this year in the sanctuary state of California, where your parents have the privilege of picking our food for us? Poor children, will ICE come around to our schools and question the teachers about you, about your parents, about your big brothers out in the field? And will they tear your parents away from you and send them over the border? Heartless agents might do that. And when you remember the family you once had, please also remember Cesar, Fidel, and Che. For this, there is no justice. There is no justice for you here anymore. Now that kindness is out and cruelty is in. Circle round, little children, and hear the tales of revolution. It has been done before, and it will happen again. It is our only hope.
Oh, Stephanie Manning, that's what we're talking about. David, de Rijke is the next in, yeah, what's the German word for poet? I can't remember. Schreiben machen, you know, something like that.
She speaks German.
Ah.
I thought it was poetic.
Could be. All right. Simpler than I thought.
Okay, so I gave the prompt last week, so I wrote a poem.
Well, thank you.
Inclusion.
Inclusion.
There was a clue
Thank you.
in inclusion.
Thank you. So you who did this to us.
Well, hey, just trying to help here.
We'll give him.
Beautiful poem.
Thank you.
Thank you. In the beginning was the Word. I take that very literally. A brilliant pianist has told me I can't find truth in oration. I take that as an artistic challenge. I'd like to prove him wrong. If we change word to thought, we lose something. We lose sound. We lose Ella Fitzgerald breaking glass. We lose Joshua knocking down the wall. We lose the irresistible force exploding the immovable object. We lose the sound of martial art slapping you in the face with a shout. We lose Bach spinning spheres in color. So listen to jazz and bend that note. Expand that letter you wrote. Jazz becomes jizz. Sperm becomes whale. Moan becomes Lisa. Lisa becomes listen. And you are? The name of this one. Wrote this this morning at 2:28 a.m. I slept before that, right? So I have weird sleeping habits. Anyhow, no matter. I finished the Gulistan of Sadi, the Rose Garden. It is an English translation, of course. There are footnotes regarding the original Persian and all the lost rhymes. References are made to 4 other English speakers who have translated this same work and how they all differ. Many Persian words are discussed in those footnotes, and even though the alphabet is totally foreign, I can see enough to know that certain words must rhyme. It has gotten me to thinking on man's universality and also on man's evolutionary progression. Endless layers of the eternal onion. Egg, caterpillar, pupa, butterfly, progression. Mycelium tree, exchange, mushroom, fungus, explosion, erosion. The same thoughts over thousands of years, different levels of advancement among many individuals. What is this amazing human being? And not being. This storyteller. This beam of light, this wave, this ocean of sound, this orb strider, this water walker, this surface tension containing love. Spoken word, cetacean sonar, bird song, acoustic boost. Paper I will take for granted with which to wipe my ass. Indoors resides the plumbing through which my bowels pass. Outdoors when I am bidden, in need I dig a pit, and there enact a midden. So that's the end of it. Pack out what you pack in, then when walking on the trail, taking only pictures of eagle, wren, and quail. In USA, Yo, buddy. We have many who leave their garbage strewn, excess and wasted money, self-contained, unknown. If I pick up for you, would you please do the same? Simple cooperation is the name of the game. Before death, us doth claim. How much time we got? Anything?
We got about a minute plus some
Okay.
tiny bit.
Short and street, just a shadow, just a shade, just a stipple, just a dot, just a stitch, spaced in between like black matter in your dreams. Black means wisdom, quiet nights on reflection without light, absence, fonder, compare, companion, second take, juggle, balance, shovel, rake, claws extended by an owl, double standard, hand in hand, neck is broken, tail is slashed. You'll do anything just for cash. Scruples absent, talent shed. Nature's garbage man, felled by lead. In the webbing pops a fly. Entertainment passed you by. Legs Anansi, numbered 8. Teach you patience, how to wait. Device electric, jitterbug. Leaves you hanging by a thread. Wrapped in Coldplay, down and out of rehab, frowns and pouts. After failure, you can rise if they haven't poked out your eyes. Image broken, target struck. Poem over, find the luck. Thank you.
Very nice. All right, Richard, the Sanderell, will you kindly bring your device forward? Then we have Wendy, then did Beep, did Bop, something like that, O'Hara, before Bill Mercer will precede our feature of the evening. Forward. What? What'd you say? Oh, okay.
Or one trippy letter. If there's time for the third one, just play it by ear. You know my rhythm.
I thought we were going to play it by sax.
The first one? Oh, absolutely.
I'm doing the first one.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, you're on.
But I'm saying there's timing for this third.
Okay.
So, all right. This is an update on Humpty Dumpty. Remember Humpty Dumpty?
My best friend from childhood.
Anyway, this is about a Humpty Dumpty that has a little fascism running through him. and likes John Lennon. I don't know how that works. Anyway, the Egg King is dead. The Egg King fell off his wall, cracks his shell, leaking his substance onto ground. All sound fury signifies nothing true. Great pretender of peace, love, understanding, lays mortally wounded, flailing. Controlling, loses mind when unable to. Believes in sacred, but will destroy to serve Egg King's interests. Meditations, prayers, love will not save the said king from Egg King. Goo goo gajoo, savage sounds of little boy in corner whimpering, always contrite like abusers after destruction. Goo goo gajoo, king is down. Will king live another day so everyone remembers who's boss? Was he the bully in the schoolyard? Who could serve fascism pie better than an Egg King? Goo goo gajoo, if Walrus was alive, would he even bother to listen? All right, I'm going to do this for myself.
Roll on.
Okay. This is Satiricon Usan Style. Remember the film Fellini?
Yeah,
Satiricon. All right. Satiricon, written about the end of the Roman Empire as it was happening, remains alive in Usan's empire. Though there is art, music, poetry still relevant, things are slowly heading south. Federico Fellini made the movie based on the book and youth movements of the 60s. Satiricon relevant today as then. At Cafe International, young beautiful woman, At Cafe International, young beautiful black woman enters. She wears colorful hippie clothes with a leather jacket, open revealing breast with a charming tassels on nipples, no blouse. She wears one of those round straw hats that come to a point that you see Vietnamese rice farmers wear. She walks back outside, sits on wicker couch, her throne, which is in front of a mural of people of the earth, displaying herself in the most of sexiest of ways. Man boys, men attracted by this flame, siren, come sit on or stand next to couch. One man boy sits next to splendor, leans on elbow, looking at this young beauty with a grin of a hopeful young man about to conquer beauty. It looks almost like the Last Supper painting, but sexy. But she will not be conquered easy. She knows what she wants and is set to get it. Like the scene in Satyricon where the two men boys fawn over a young, beautiful black woman who shows her loveliness. Good thing to partake in as the empire trips, headed for the eventual fall. It is Cafe International where one can see where the empire's children are headed, as well as the empire's future. Okay, good, we can do it. All right. Okay, on the lands. Is it dedicated to the Ohlone people? On the lands of the Ohlone, where they once lived free as they saw fit, are a new class of people who've become feral, homeless, now wander Ohlone lands. At night, when those who can leave streets, feral ones come out, yelling, cursing, moaning, wailing, sobbing, grieving, some red eyes ready to do what is necessary for another day in our circling earth. The din of the streets gets louder, but somehow ears, minds cannot grasp, care about mounting, escalating, descending humans into lunacy. They're, after all, lazy, afraid of work. Oh, the Ohlone know your cruelty. Now you're learning your cruelty to each other. Thank you.
All right, and now Wendy Walters is coming up, and then it will be me before Bill Mercer, who will precede the feature of the evening, Wolf Losey.
As soon as I get through the maze.
It's all right. We are still devolving up here.
Yeah, Wendy!
Screen magnified or plus it or something? Sorry.
Is that good?
Yes. Yeah, really. She likes to close it.
I'd like to start with a quote by Edgar S. Brightman. Indomitable man, indomitable human, I would say. No totalitarians, no wars, fears, famines, or perils of any kind can really break man's spirit until he breaks it himself by surrendering. Tyranny has many dread powers, but not the power to rule the spirit. We saw evidence of that when, was it the mayor of Oakland warned the immigrants there, and then they saved about 800 people from being arrested. I'm going to start, I thought of this for inclusion for it's called Denial of the Heart. To the faithless, short-sighted, foolhardy calls for the denial of human values in the name of fear. You fear and hate mongers who seek to build a wall around your narrow-minded smallness. You think the other is so different from yourself or any loved one that only a wall will protect you from the harm of evildoers. It does not dawn on you that insanity works from the inside out and has nothing to do with where people are born, or their religion, or their race, or a host of other things. Things which faithless, short-sighted, foolhardy people throughout the ages have demanded be used to deny the human rights of any group or person. You say that others harbor ill will. You say you want to protect. Perhaps it is your own ill will that is the bigger danger. Don't you know that like attracts like? Perhaps you're scheming for a wall to keep out what you fear, and if one is not enough, then walls around that wall until you build a fortress strong for you or any loved one would be the likelier lead to harm, a harm not just out there so much, a danger more within. Such walls of ignorance. But you are not what your body-mind makes of you and all living beings. You are not the shell of ancient brain that dwells in reptilian memory, that which covers who you or any loved one is, the beauty of the spirit. Why do you hold on to your fears so fiercely as if they're the center of everything of value, seeking freedom for yourself and loved ones not so different, yet not for those you would exclude? Life is love, and love is wisdom, the only thing that lasts. If you would deny one soul your love, you would deny yourself and all humanity. The heart knows the truth of the unity of life, not the body-mind, which is afraid, which falls to hate. Only in the heart will you find the wisdom to know what is right to do, and the courage to do what you know is right. What will be your legacy? Fear and hate that left unchecked, or worse, encouraged, would never end? Or compassion, which is wise and finds a way in the right time to answer trouble? I was really mad that day when I wrote that. How much time?
I'll have 2 or less. Yeah.
This is a little lighter. This is a poem I wrote sometime in the past. It's in springtime. Spring's being almost here. And this was created out of a group of us who had a prompt. We did, I think it was quartz. Anyway.
Exquisite quartz.
Exquisite quartz. So we had a line, and then we couldn't see the line before, and we added another line, and then we came up with a poem, and then I created my poem out of the lines that there were. The other day, I cried for joy, laughing and weeping at the same time. A leap from my soul or into my soul just happened in that moment. Leaving the old mundane habits of stop and no and wait and can't. Yes, the magic of spring had been budding in my heart all through the tough, shattering, sky's the limit winter, and I began to notice that golden cinnabar love was everywhere, always tucked away, secret, yet subtly present, as I took the time to let go of all I'd been carrying and just be.
That brings me to you. Me to you. I might be right there.
So the theme was inclusion. So these I selected several that are inclusive. Okay. All right. So this is called Desire. Out on the veranda, it is quiet. A cool breeze greets my face. The crying and talking are hidden away. This is a big house. Its white adobe walls cool now. The wind touches the trees. I look out over the houses. A guitar is somewhere splendidly. My lips say these words, dead. She is dead. Her white hair will dry, fall to dust. I want to go out, away to the mountains. The illusions of memory, the colors of festivals, the daily work and dinners ending in talks disappear.
I look out to remember the seabirds calling as the sky closes over the ocean. I taste the salt on my lips. I remove my mother's black gloves from my pocket. The crumpled lace blooms up in my palm. I cup them to my face, their scent of Sundays. It takes me years and years to answer someone calling my name. And then this is the second little piece that has that to do with conclusive, and the third one wraps it all up. How she holds me, vast, deep, and spectacular. Her sky of jet, the vaulting great womb all-encompassing, glistening with galaxies. How she holds me, all above and round about in her wondrous bright blue gaze as the world turns towards the sovereign's blaze, the fascinating changes as horizons wash with blush. How she holds me in this valley between the ridgelines, their silhouettes, her profiles, yes, breathe deep the gathering dawn and scent into the wind touching my face. How she holds me, the light in my lover's eyes, the sparkle there, her gaze before me, upon me. How she holds me in the warmth of her hands, in her heart, and with nary a whisper from the smile in her words. How she holds me within our hearts, upon our world forever and ever, on and on. How she holds me. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. So this has been adjusted and changed. Where is your heart? Right now, right here, this very moment. You know what I mean. Not just the percussive muscular motions marking your moment-to-moment measures of every little thing. Not just that, but the unending part, and how this takes you, and where it takes you, and why you go along. That intimate, emotive part, feeling, that's the ticket. Where is your heart when you dearly miss its peace? When you cannot take its pain any longer, and you ask it to please, please just stop the ache that comes steadily on as each regrettable beat does, each memory that comes or goes with a breath, as each hope or wish follows on. Yes, where is your heart tonight? What is it about? What is its intentions? How does it figure in your life? What plans do you have for it? How do you hold it dear? How do you protect it? And what does it want of you? What is it always saying? Where is your heart tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Where would you have it be? What does it wish for you? And why do you ever let it play second fiddle to anything else? Thank you.
Conclusion. We all have a heart. Yes. Thank you. All right. Bill Mercer is coming up as a prelude to our feature. He is going to take care of real business. This is you, yes?
This is me, yes.
Yes.
Wolf wanted me to
Yes.
kind of to warm things up a little.
Do you want to be up here or do you want to be there?
I'm going to work from right here.
All right, he's going to work from right there, and then I'll introduce Wolf in a more literary way, as it might be called.
This is going to be in about 2 or 3 little segments, and then I'll pass the torch.
All right. didgeridoo. I was going to say that, but I was afraid I was wrong.
He's going to start with wind, so I'm going to do a little wind.
All right. So I'm going to postpone my normal chattering to introduce, and he's going to just go.
Do a growl and then a wind. I want a growl.
Do a growl.
Just to make
Okay,
sure
let's
we
go
get
for a
it.
growl. Let's go for a growl. I'm always good for a growl.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Wait a second. Hold on just a moment. I want to do that.